Cool. Thank you and welcome to this session. We will be talking about how to monitor and govern or alert from your SAP Cloud integration suite to see what is actually possible and how you can leverage to see these things. And I can see the audio is working. So if you have, we're live now. So if you have questions, comments, just put them into the chat, and I'll hopefully be able to answer some of the questions you have about how you can actually monitor the solution. What are the cool things that we have made to make some of these processes a little smarter and a little easier to see what is going on with it. Yeah, questions, put them into the chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So in alerting and monitor, there is two words, alerting and monitoring. And I need to check in the other one, otherwise I get a bit confused. And let's start with the monitoring part. This is the part about you being able to see what is going on and who has processed which messages. You obviously have a view in the CPI or integration suite that gives you some of these details, but we try to make it a little easier and give you some more details and more context about what is going on with this, and I hope you can see some of the benefits of this and what it can actually deliver you in this case. A calendar view to view the times of the iFlow. We don't have that. I guess that could be a cool thing that you could, like you have in PIC, the number of messages that has been processed during a given period of time. For now we don't have that, but I guess it would be nice to continuously on a daily basis know which iFlows is active. For now I think one of the challenges we had was the API that we could use to query did not contain these data, so we would need to query each iFlow and ask how many iterations did this have, which is not optimal, I guess. If you have 50 iFlows, it's probably okay. If you have 1,000 iFlows, you end up with some challenges there. Okay, let me show you what this idea is that we created here. So the idea is that you create some different tiles and you can then give access to users so they can see this. When we go into edit mode here, we can click on a tile and we can we can specify what are the iFlow. Are there any specific criteria that we want to check for these scenarios and see what is going on with. So that means that you can, if you have finance related processes or customer centric processes, you can create a tile with those processes and give that to users. And we have both people that are able to view the process and who can view the payloads of it. So right now I have access to both, and once you get into it, you can go and you can drill further in and search by specific criteria. So we can search by this document doc. So if we have specific document number, we can search for it like this, hopefully. Always the fun thing about doing things live. That we can see now we have all of these documents that contains this doc and has this apparently fixed constant. So this makes it really easy to search for specific criteria. You can also search for the application message type, where we can send up different information and use that also as a filtering criteria. If we look at some of the database here, or data access, I think this is also quite interesting. Here we have access to the persist payloads that you can download and you can view. So you can see what is in these ones. We also have access to the normal MPL attachments. And we do have the data store entries. So obviously with the data store entries, these are then saved in the normal header properties fashion. So you would obviously need to do a little more digging to extract these one, but probably in the future that would also be possible. So a question on the error definition, error code definition. I guess this is the part you're defining up here, where we can put in message type. As I understand it, some developers would, whenever they fail or do specific criteria, put in a specific type about the definition in here, which means that you at a later state would actually be able to search for them, see who has gone into this state, and thereby know what how this specific and the reason why this failed, which gives you a lot of capabilities to handle these scenarios. The last thing on this is you have the ability to export this all as CSV, and this is really useful if you're looking for creating a scenario about checking did we process all the different customer invoices that we expected to send. So you can give this to a business user and they can go through the list and see what are they, did we send all orders, if there was anything missing. So really good for reconciliation. We can add filters here and go in and drill in deeper. And we also have all the custom properties defined. So obviously this one is fixed. We can see the headers that are being set, custom headers for a specific scenario. And then we have receiver, sender, application ID, all of these data that you would need to understand what is going on in your scenario. So I hope that this is helpful, and you can see some benefits of using that. And if you have questions, just put them into the chat and I will try to answer them as good as possible. But I guess our main idea with this was to make it simple for users to monitor and offload some of this to the business side of this, because they are the ones that knows how many orders, how many different documents that you have sent. They can easily see what's going on and thereby export the CSV and do the reconciliation if there's any problems. And then if there's problems, you obviously need to go in and do something on it. And with problems, we get into the next one. So the other part of this monitoring alerting is the alerting part of this. This is about being able to proactively react when something happens that you did not anticipate. So this can be that an iFlow fails because HTTP connection is down, some other errors that you would expect to see in this flow. And what we have done here is we have created our alerting tool, and what this does is we go in and we create a consumer. This one is looking at all iFlow that has failed, and if it finds an iFlow in every 5 minutes whenever it's polling, you will then be able to set up a rule for this. And here we can see we are getting some iFlow that is ignored. And whenever we find an error, we will go in and we'll pick up this data here. And here we can see that there's a groovy error in a script in line number 9. So we have all of this information available. What we can do is, if we know how to resolve this one, we just go in and create a new rule. We're getting some of all of this XPath available. And our idea, sorry, I should not be showing you my face, but also showing the screen, so I will make it up to you. So here we have the alerting capability. Here you can see all the messages that has failed for a period of time. We have here the consumers that we set up at poll for this specific period of time. And if we drill into these, we can see all the XML that we can extract from this data. And if we look at it and look at the iFlow here, we can see this rule has been created. We can go in and write, okay, what is it that we need for a problem here? We can describe how to resolve this. We can send it to a webhook. So that means that if you are setting this up with other systems, you can easily go in and set up a webhook that will send the message to your Jira ServiceNow system, and thereby get access to these rules and set up what's going on. If you do that, you don't want to have each and every message send you these details. So what we've set up is this only send messages each 60 seconds if it sees the same error. That means that you will not see the same as FTP host or SFTP host is down more than once, and then you can react on and figure out how to resolve it. Sorry. So that's the idea here. And then once you have done that, you will end up with a rule set for the different errors that you can then go through, optimize, define. And how to manage all of these things. I hope this will make it a little easier for you to monitor your integration solutions, allow business users access to it, because with this they will be able to see what's going on and who has, what are the iFlows that you have, what's going on, export the CSV. You can inform them directly about what's going on and if there's a problem they need to react to. So this could be, we're sending this order but we're missing some master data, then that is really a good way to give them that information. Cool. So that was the monitoring alerting. We also have another capability which is to look at the iFlow latency, look at the message statistic to see if there's any problems and how many messages you processed during a period of time, to understand what's the load on our system and does that work. For Neo, we can show the CPU load, and obviously this is a bit pseudo, not really, I'm not sure if it's proper and if it gives you correct data, but at least it can give you some insight about number of nodes that is going on. Hopefully when SAP releases the new integration suite, Cloud Foundry, versions of this API, we can update and make sure, and we can also give you those kind of information so you can continuously see if there's any problems, if the CPU load is more than whatever, send you a notifications on some of these problems. So that was a little about how we can monitor these system and help you with that. If you have questions, comments, just put them into the chat and then I will try to answer them as good as I can. But yeah, thanks for joining. I hope you found this okay. Though I guess I was happy showing my face a little of time. I guess that's what happens when you try some of these things online. But I hope you liked it. If you want to try it out, you can go to figaf.com and sign up for any of the trials we have here on the site. Get the free trial, sign up, and then you will actually be able to try it out. You can either try it in our cloud, which I guess is super simple to install. Obviously the productive ready is deployed in BTP Cloud Foundry as a good way to manage and monitor these things. But yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Questions, comments, you can always drop me a message and I'll likely I'll respond to that. So thanks for watching.